what would be those behaviors or habits that would determine
Sure.
if someone has the ability to be rich?
So the first thing is mindset. That's what I call, my channel, the minority mindset. You have to believe it's possible for you. Because if you don't believe it's possible for you, you can have all the resources, you can have all the drive, but you'll never be able to do it because your mind is going to stop you. Your mind dictates your actions. And so you first have to believe that somebody like you can do it from your position and know that, hey, I will do whatever it takes. Now, if you have the mindset, then you have that I will do whatever it takes, that discipline, and then the willing to learn, nothing can stop you. So the discipline means that you're willing to put in work. A lot of people say, don't work hard, work smart. And I think this is a whole bunch of crap. Like you can work as smart as you want, but if you're not willing to work hard, you're going to very much limit your success and limit everything in your life. You have to be willing to work hard.
I don't know anyone that didn't put in a lot of hard work for a period of time until they learned how to manage and delegate and optimize with resources and skill and time to work smarter.
100%.
But they had to work hard at some
in order
point.
to get there. Once you get there, now you can scale back and now you can reap the fruits of your labor, but you have to be willing to put in the work. The harder you work,
you got to make the flywheel turn.
You got to. And if your hard work makes your smart work even more effective.
Key.
And then your discipline then it's just like anything else. It's being willing to stick with it when things go wrong and when things get hard, because things will go wrong. Things will get hard. I made a video on my YouTube channel talking about my worst real estate deal ever. I have this running joke with my friends that anytime I start something new, I get scammed and I get screwed over. And it is extremely difficult every time it happens because from the event planning business, I got screwed over multiple times. And then the beginning, it was just a complete flop. I mean, it just everything went wrong that could potentially go. I was supposed to host my party at a venue, planned it for months. The night before the event, it got shut down by the cops because they were apparently serving to underage people. It just lost.
Oh, man.
And this is my first event, and everything just goes wrong. Then, I started my sock company. I got scammed by a fake marketing company as soon as I started, which is why I started Minority Mindset. When I started, I started for a little bit, I was trying to hustle, and I was selling stuff on eBay and Amazon. Me and my buddy, we found this supplier in China who was sending us authentic items that we were going to sell online. We were young and we were selling it. We were making decent money. And then we get a letter saying, you're not selling authentic stuff. We will potentially sue you for $7 million.
Oh, man, that's
I'm not even 20 years old. I don't even, $7 million, I can't even count that many digits. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I had to shut that down. So it gets tough.
Yes.
You talked about last time, getting punched in the mouth. You have to be willing to get back up. And how do you prepare for that? Maybe go and get punched. Go to a boxing class. Get uncomfortable. Do something that puts you out of your comfort zone, even if it's not directly correlated. I try to do that. I've joined a boxing gym here in California. I'm not the best boxer, just to get in shape, but you get uncomfortable. I joined my acting class. That was really uncomfortable for me because I'm like this kind of nerd. I went to school. I was supposed to study hard in school and do all this stuff, and now here I am trying to figure things out, edit and fit in. But I made friends. Everybody's so friendly, and you get to meet more people, and you put yourself out of that comfort zone, and I think that will help you in other places as well. So it's not always finance. We talk about this where we live a human life, right? It's not just my bank account. It's I'm a human first. My bank account is one aspect of my life.
Right.
And you have to be able to live as a human. That way you can actually enjoy your bank account.
Absolutely, man.
Right? I mean, you can have $1 million,
100%.
$10 million if you're miserable. Who cares?
Exactly. So you talked about the right mindset, the right discipline. The third thing was?
The right mindset, the right discipline, and the right work ethic. So the willingness to learn. You have to be willing to learn. And if you're not willing to learn, you're not going to be willing to grow, because you have to be willing to challenge your beliefs. And I think that became significantly easier for me once I started learning about money, because I realized everything I was told was wrong about money, from loans to banks to schools to your job to investing. When I realized that everything that I was told was wrong, that's when I was like, man, I don't think I know anything right. So it was very easy for me to start learning and listening to contradictory points of view. But you really have to be willing to listen to things that don't agree with one another. And that's in the middle is where you find intellect. That's where you find where your best education comes. And so, like, you know, if you listen to, like, I listen to audiobooks. I'm not a very good reader. English is my second language, right? So I'm not the best reader, but I listen to audiobooks. And it's funny because I have like books that will completely contradict one another just so I can learn from different points of view. Like I read Donald Trump's book, and then I read Barack Obama's book. I read the Communist Manifesto. I read the Capitalist Manifesto.
Right.
You read books that are completely opposite. That way you can explore different points of view and understand and solidify your thoughts and just be more educated, because
otherwise if we grow up with just one belief the entire time and we don't see another side of something or another extreme potentially, then we're always going to think life is that specific way, as opposed to being open to seeing what other people think about, whether we agree with it or not. Just learn it.
And it's so much more important now because of social media.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know you know this, but you go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, anything. If you start watching one type of content, what are they going to do? They're going to feed you more and more of that exact same thing. And then all of a sudden you go down this rabbit hole where you think everybody thinks like you. Anybody who doesn't think like you is wrong. They must be dumb. They have no idea what they're talking about. But you have to. I mean, it's so much harder now, which is why it's so much more important. But you have to be willing to break out of this hole and start learning something else, and you know, be willing to challenge your own beliefs. And that's where, you know, you will become smarter, and you'll find more opportunity, and you'll solidify your own beliefs on whatever it is that you believe in.
Absolutely. Those are good habits. What would you say are the three biggest myths about money that you've debunked over your time of learning about money, that maybe you grew up thinking it was one way, like you were talking about loans and banks and all these different things? What are three myths about money that you've found out were not true?
Well, the first thing that I would say, I don't know if it's a myth, but I would say that the first thing everyone has to understand is what money is. And I don't mean in terms of like, in terms of wealth, but like money is just paper. It doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's paper. And we talk about all these insecurities people have with money. I grew up being told, don't talk about money, don't worry about money, don't stress about money. Yet here I am seeing my parents work their butt off every single day. So
trying to make money.
And it doesn't make sense. How am I supposed to not worry about money? And you want me to become a doctor because, you know, you read those, if you go to those career fairs, they show you the different careers, right? And doctor is always number one, the highest income. So why am I doing this if it's because of the income instead of because I love it or do something that I love? Why not?
Or because I want to help people.
Yeah.
You want to save lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is if you understand money, you become financially educated, you're willing to talk about it. Well, now you can be financially stable doing whatever you want. If you're enjoying this video and want to take your investing to the next level, I want to remind you that I put together a free investing masterclass where I walk you through how you can get started as an investor and find hidden investment opportunities before everybody else. It's a completely free masterclass, and when you register, you'll also get access to Market Briefs, which is my newsletter for investors, completely free, complimentary as a bonus. So if you want to get the investing masterclass and Market Briefs all for free, all you have to do is click the link down in the description below to get it. And you can follow something you love and still be financially okay, because we assume that you have to have this in order to make money. You have to have this job in order to make good money. You have to have this career if you want to be financially stable. But that's a complete lie.
Yeah.
But that goes down to not us being willing to talk about money. And you know, I talked about this in our last interview. But you know, money is one part of our lives. And the reason why people are scared to talk about it is because we're insecure about it. And that's because we don't understand how money plays a part in our lives. It's one aspect. I say that there's four. You have to be physically healthy, mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, and then financially healthy. If you're not financially healthy, well, it can make everything else much more miserable because you can't pay your bills. But if you're financially healthy, you're rich, but you have nothing else, more money just makes you more miserable. So you need to live a holistic life and understand how money plays a part in your life. That way, the finances can have the biggest power. And then you understand that more money just amplifies who you are. It's like fire. It's like fuel. It fuels your fire. If you're a good person and you have more money, you have a tool to do more good. If you're a bad person and you have more money, you have a tool to do more bad.
Yeah.
Just why we need more good people with money. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.